Hello guys, and welcome back to the vlog. I'm going to jump straight into today's video. I am trying to get my mind in line with how I want to film today, but we're just gonna kind of wing it. I've been wanting to do this video for a while because whenever I talk about planning my life out electronically, people have so many questions for me, and so I decided to go ahead and make a video explaining how I plan my life out. I used to be a big planner girl. I always had to have paper and pencil or pen, and I would set my planners up, and that's how I've done it for the last few years, and it has been a lifesaver. But there's only so many places you can take a planner, especially now that I carry smaller bags. I started moving over to digital planning last year, and it has changed my world. In today's video, that's what I'm going to talk about, is the pros and cons of digital planning, as well as my tips and tricks of what I use to digital plan. This may not work for everybody. I know there are still people out there that prefer to do paper and pen, but my phone and my iPad are always with me at all times, so it's just easier for me to plan digitally now. So I'm gonna start off with showing you guys what I use to plan. So I have the iPad 10th generation in the pink color. She is so gorgeous. I got her for Christmas last year, and I use her mostly for school and for work. I do carry her with me whenever I am going to work, or when I'm at home, I do have my iPad with me. I also use my phone. I have the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I always have at least one of these items with me, which is why I switched over to digital planning, just because I wanted something that I was gonna have with me at all times, because my brain always has a million tabs open at once, and with working full-time, being a mom, going to school also, and I'm doing content on the side, trying to juggle all of that got super overwhelming. Having a planner has really helped, and especially now that I am doing it digitally, that has been a major game changer for my planning. I'm going to be going over what apps I use. I'm going to go ahead and start screen recordings and showing the app that I used to use to plan, and then talking to you about what I use now and why I use it now. So we're going to start screen recording on my iPad, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like on my iPad. This is what my iPad looks like on the home screen. Now, I do have my calendar as a widget right now, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the calendar that I used to use to do all my planning, but I have since changed over from that. The app that I used to use is GoodNotes, and as soon as I open up my GoodNotes, I still have my calendar from last year on here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the calendar. This was my calendar from last year, and this is just a little gist of what the calendar looked like. I had the full month view, and then I had little tabs on the side that I can click on different months. And then if I moved over, I had a whole section of an overview, and then I would have a vision board. Then I would have my weeks that I could plan out, as well as I had a separate week tab for work. So I kept my work and personal separate. These are not good examples because I did not plan super well, just because I don't always have my iPad with me, and that is one of the reasons why I switched from GoodNotes. It's really cute, and it did give me the vibe of having an actual planner again, but because I don't always have my iPad with me, it was a little bit harder to work with. So I did use my GoodNotes app for about a year, and then I just realized there were some things that I didn't like about GoodNotes. Now, there were some pros to GoodNotes. You can get so many different calendars that you can import into GoodNotes, and I got all of my calendars through Etsy, and you can also buy stickers through Etsy, and different sellers have different ways of downloading their calendars. But once you get a calendar through Etsy, you can download it into your GoodNotes app, and that's what I was using for my calendar before. And so it looked like an actual calendar, and then you can buy stickers to go with it and add those and make your calendar super cute and aesthetic looking. I did that for a while. However, it took up so much time, and then I realized that whenever I would book hotels or flights, any type of things online where I got an email confirmation where I can add it to my calendar, it was really hard to import it into GoodNotes where I could click on it and have it pull up the full length for my flights or hotels. So I started noticing that became a little bit of an issue, which is why I started switching over. I've always used Apple calendars, and so I started researching how to use Apple calendars a little bit better. Along with my friend ChatGPT, it showed me how to use my Apple calendars better. Now, I have always had my calendars on my Apple calendars categorized, and so what I started doing whenever I realized I wasn't really liking GoodNotes and I wanted something that all of my emails or texts, I can automatically put it in my Apple calendar. So that is why I switched over from GoodNotes. GoodNotes is really good if you like writing down everything, but because I don't always have my iPad with me, and because GoodNotes, I couldn't link certain things into my GoodNotes, it was just like having a paper calendar again, which is fine because I really enjoyed writing everything down. But I started making the switch and now I am using Apple calendars. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in and show you guys how I use my Apple calendars on my iPad. I was showing you guys GoodNotes. There was nowhere on GoodNotes where I could go and click on certain things. I just had to open up the app to remember what goes where. I didn't get any notifications, which is what I was really wanting to. Calendars, and I'm gonna pull it up. This is what my week looked like this last week, and I have it color coded because my brain just works so much better when things are color coded. I'm gonna show you guys how I got my Apple calendar set up in the first place. I already had my calendar set up, and then I discovered that you can share your Apple calendar with other people in your contacts and they can get notifications and make changes as well. And I wanted to do that specifically for David. So I'm gonna go over here to our calendar that we share. So you can make a calendar, as long as your calendar is synced up to your iCloud, you can share a calendar with another person in your contacts and they will get all of the notifications. Me and David were running into the issue where I would tell him about something and then I would have to remind him every single day. This makes it a lot easier because he can get notifications right on his phone and I can just add it to the calendar. This is what our calendar looks like. It just says fam shared calendar. He is the person that I added to it. And then our color is blue. I'm gonna go over my other calendars and show you guys what all of them are. So I have our bills calendar, which is green because I think of money. I also share that with David. And then my family calendar is anything from birthday parties, special events, dinners, lunches. I also have my work calendar. Anything that has to do with work is brown. My appointments and important is purple. I wanted to do red, but red was too much like the pink one that I have. Anything that's super important like doctor's visits or hair appointments, nail appointments, anything that is very important, those are purple. My school is yellow. Social media is pink. I have just a random calendar that is also a bright blue color. I did this just in case it's something that doesn't really necessarily go in a category. That's gonna be that color. My calendar that I share with David. I also share a calendar with my mother-in-law, and I also share one with my best friend Bailey. And then I also am subscribed to my therapy reminders, and I made that purple because it's an appointment. You can go in and change the colors of your calendar. If you go on Pinterest, you can type in different numbers, and that way you can have your color be exactly the color that you're wanting. This is what my week looks like. I have it all color coded, so I know that, okay, the blue is family stuff, and then I have all of my social media in pink. My work is brown, and it's really easy to move things around if I don't end up doing something or I need to change an appointment. Say I needed to change my filming my morning routine for TikTok, I can grab it and slide it over to another day, and then it automatically updates on my iPad as well as my phone. And I have them set up also where they will notify me. Certain things don't, like this tiger swim was for Ace's school. He was going swimming that week. So I did not set a notification for that because I knew it was going to be the whole week. I also have outfits set up sometimes. If I want to wear a particular outfit, I will add it into my calendar too, just to make it easy for me and not forget. Something that I have started doing is mapping out my week, and I try to do that every Sunday, so I have it mapped into my calendar every Sunday. I make sure I plan out my week. I'm wanting to film certain videos for this week, so I have my videos mapped out. I also had ChatGPT help me with this, and I will ask ChatGPT, these are the videos I would like to do. Can you help me get a filming schedule for these videos? So this is what it looks like whenever I am getting my week set up to film as well. I have my Sunday reset, and I have that set for every Sunday. And then I'm filming my planner video right now. Now I put it for 6 to 7 p.m., but I had the time now, so I went ahead and filmed it now. And then tomorrow is Memorial Day. So I was thinking of either doing a day in the life I am going to do a get ready with me because I'm sure we will end up doing something. And if not, I do have a get ready with me I could post in place of that. And then I always try to post my YouTube promos for my videos on the day that they are going up. Another thing that I like to use for my planner is I will use my Apple Pencil. This is just the first generation Apple Pencil that goes with the 10th generation iPad. It is the older model, so it does have the old charger, but that's fine. It doesn't bother me that much. But I like to keep this because even though I'm not writing every single thing out anymore, I can still take my Apple Pencil and write it in, and it will type it out for me. So if I'm wanting to add something, like say today I want to add that I need to clean out my fridge. So I just go to add a new event, clean fridge. And my calendar already knows, y'all saw that pop up where it already knows sometimes certain things that you've done repeatedly, it will try to add it in for you if it's something that you have done before. And then you can add a location. I do like on Apple calendars that you can add a location because if it has an address, it will automatically add in how far it is from my house. So it can also add in my travel time. And then I can set a certain time. So we'll say we're going to do this at 7 p.m. We'll say it lasts for an hour. And like I said about the travel time, I can add it in, or if I have a location, it will automatically add it in for me. And then adding it to my different calendars. So I have all of my calendars here. And then if I want to have a notification, I could have it at the start of what time I need to leave for my travel time, or any of these notifications. I normally do 10 minutes before anything. That is basically how I plan out my weeks. Now it does depend, and it does take a lot of trial and error, and it is a lot to set up at first with the color coding and getting where you want things to go. I also had ChatGPT help me with that. I will tell it, these are the calendars that I want to have, how can I color code them? And I have worked well with ChatGPT asking about how to organize my calendars. I've also asked it how to name my calendars because that was something I had no clue what I should name them. But that is pretty much how I organize my life. I try to do that every Sunday and map out my week. That way I have it set up where all I have to do is look down at my phone or look down at my iPad, and I keep my calendar on my iPad on the home screen. I keep a widget, that way I can see my calendar for the day. I also do that on my phone as well. And I also have a widget on my lock screen on my phone. I will say I still do use GoodNotes for taking notes for class. So I will go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. And I can take this anywhere with me. I use this so much for school because I don't have to worry about keeping multiple spirals. I can have different folders on here if I need to, or I could keep them all on one and it's all right here. And all I have to do is just charge these two items and my schooling is all right here for me. So that is what I still use my GoodNotes for, but I don't use my GoodNotes for the calendars anymore. But if y'all have any questions about the calendars on GoodNotes, let me know. I feel like I didn't explain things in this video very well. I can always do a part 2 for this video. That, I think, is it for this video of how to plan my life. This is how I get my life together at least a little bit better. I'm still trying to get the hang of it. So far, we are working together really nicely. I'm trying to do better about utilizing my electronics better because I have them with me at all times. So why not use them better? That's all for this video. I really hope that I gave y'all some good tips and some good information. I feel like I sped through that, but if I need to do a separate, more in-depth video, I can. Just let me know. But that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.